Alright guys, what's happening? G-Funk here. Time for a prediction video. I know I'm a little bit late, but this is the fight that I'm really looking forward to at the middleweight division with the lineal champ at 160 pounds, Sergio Maravilla Martinez versus Miguel Angel Cotto. Should be a good fight, man. Um, Looking forward to this one here. So before I actually get into breaking down the fight, I want to talk about this whole diva thing that Sergio Martinez is putting on um, Miguel Cotto. Now, I just want to start off by saying that I totally agree with what Martinez is saying here. I think that, you know, traditionally, the champion should be coming out first. I mean, should be coming out last. Sorry about that. Should be coming out last, and he should be introduced last, and all those things. His name should be first on the headline. As you can see in this picture that I have here, Sergio Martinez has a turtleneck on for one, and for two, his name is second after Miguel Cotto's, and I just feel like that's just the wrong thing to do, man. I mean, I know that boxing is not the same as it used to be back in the day, and things like this have happened back in the day. I mean, we can go. I mean, there's been a lot of fights where the challenger has been the guy who walks out last and gets introduced last in the ring. I think for like a big fight, it was Larry Holmes versus Jerry Cooney. That was a fight where it was just like this fight is, where Cooney was the guy who was, he was hyped up and he was the big draw compared to Holmes, who was the guy who was reigning in the heavyweight division for a long time. But they did what they had to do for Cooney, and we all know what happened at the end of that fight. Holmes came out on top, but like I said, I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just I don't like this new school style, of athletes and things that they do nowadays. And this is something that I totally disagree with. I think if you're the champion, you should be treated like a champion, and you should definitely follow the tradition of the ring walk and the introduction and all that stuff. But that's just the way I feel about it. I keep it nice and short and sweet. I'm a traditional guy, so that's the way I think about it. So let's get into the fight now. Let's talk about Sergio Martinez first, because there's a lot to cover with him. He's been the man at 160 pounds for a while now. I've been doing his thing, fighting bigger guys. He's really not even supposed to be in this division, but he is, and he's winning fights, and he's knocking guys out. He's fighting guys like Chavez Jr. that are 30 pounds bigger than him, on fight night. And he looked good in that fight, except for the last round. But he did win 11 straight rounds before that. Let's not forget that. But as far as his style goes, we all know he's southpaw, slick fighter, very very fast hands, good power, and he has very good lateral movement in the ring. He does like to throw a lot of punches, which leaves him open for counter shots and timing shots, which is something that I'll get into with Miguel Cotto. But he can be hit, and he does get hit a lot. But with that said, he does. I think he does have a pretty good chin. I know he's been down. He was down against Chavez, and he was down against Murray. I actually thought he lost that fight to Murray, but it is what it is. He got the decision. But for me, just because a fighter goes down doesn't mean that they have a weak chin. Now, if he was getting knocked out, that's something different. But he gets up and fights back, man. He's got a lot of heart. Like I said with Chavez, I mean, you could tell he was exhausted during that fight. And one thing you notice with Martinez is when he was fighting guys like Pavlik and Barker Macklin, Chavez. He has this pattern where he takes rounds off, like the mid rounds. I noticed where he doesn't do much. He kind of just takes these rounds off and saves his energy for the stretch. And I believe he ended up knocking out Barker and Macklin, I think, late in those fights. Which I think was a smart thing for him to do, because he does, use a lot of energy moving around the ring and stuff like that, throwing a lot of punches. That's something that he didn't do against Chavez, and that's why I think that he was so tired and he got knocked down, and he looked like he was really, really hurt against Chavez, was because he fought hard every single round. I think he was really trying to make a point against Chavez Jr. But he did take some good flush shots from Chavez all throughout the fight. And he, like I said, he got hurt in the last round, but he got up and he fought back. He didn't run away from Chavez. So I mean, he's got heart. He's tough, man. Same thing in the Murray fight. He went down, he got up, and he kept fighting. Whether you think he won it or not, he does have heart, and he gets up, keeps fighting back, keeps throwing punches. But like I said earlier, those are the when you throw so many punches, like when you're a volume puncher like him, you can leave yourself open and to get hit in the middle of exchanges, and that's something that he can't do in this fight, because Miguel Cotto can expose him for doing things like that. But he, like I said, he is very hittable because of that. Not to mention, I've been trying to look for videos of Martinez training. There's not very many videos of him training for this fight. I mean, there's like one that keeps just going around. It's like a 2-minute video, but you don't really see him doing much. I mean, he's like standing on this like balance thing, and he's riding the bike. I really want to see if he's recovered from those injuries that he's had in his previous fights, especially to his leg, because we know he relies on his legs a lot during the fight, with the moving around the ring, the in and out, the circling. He does a lot of movement. I think if he can't move like he used to, that could definitely cause him some problems, because we know Miguel Cotto. Well, I don't want to talk too much about Miguel Cotto while I'm talking about breaking down Martinez's style, but I'll get into that in a minute. But he's gonna need his legs in this fight. I just want to say that. I think he's gonna need some legs to look good and spectacular. But like I said, I was trying to wait and see if some good video of him training was gonna come out, so I could see how comfortable he looks on his legs. But I just haven't found a video on it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say, if he is 100%, I expect him to utilize those legs and move around the ring. And if he can't do that, I think this fight is going to be totally different from the way I'm seeing it. So with Miguel Cotto now, we know that he's got a new trainer again, in Freddie Roach. To me, Roach he's a good trainer. I think he's definitely overrated as a trainer, but he's a good trainer. Miguel Cotto looked pretty damn good in his last fight against Delvin Rodriguez. He ended up knocking him out in the second round with a vicious left hook. And that's something that Miguel Cotto hasn't done for quite some time. I think that's really I think it's his only knockout at 154 pounds, or if he knocked out Yuri Foreman. I'm not sure. I think he might have stopped Yuri Foreman. But, his power has, really hasn't been there at junior middleweight. Now he's moving up in weight. That could be a big question mark. It is for me, definitely, going up and fighting a bigger man. And, if he can carry that power with him, I don't think he's carried it well with him at 154. So, we'll see what happens. One thing that I had mentioned with Martinez is that, he likes to exchange. He likes to throw a lot of punches. That could leave you open for counter shots and timing shots. And that's one thing that I really, really like about Miguel Cotto, is that he has a very good left jab, and it's a very well timed left jab. He has excellent timing. He catches people right when they're punching. He's able to hit them while they're in the middle of a punch. And this is just single punches that people are throwing at him. Like when he fought Mayweather, he timed him a lot in that fight. When we know Mayweather doesn't throw as many punches as a Martinez does. So, that's one thing that I think is going to be key for Miguel Cotto in this fight is using that timing while he's trying to throw exchanges or trying to throw combinations on you. Definitely going to have to cut off the ring on Martinez if his legs are 100%. And that's something that I know Freddie Roach is definitely working on with him. He has to be. I mean, they have to train for Martinez to be 100%, whether they know if he is or not. But they have to train for him to be moving around the ring. So he's got to be cutting off the ring, using that jab also, not just upstairs, but to the body, to the side, and that helps him cut off the ring and try to get Martinez up against the ropes, and utilize that good left hook that he has to the body and bring it up top. Miguel Cotto is, he's a very good boxer as well, but it looks like with Freddie Roach, they're trying to get him back to the days of when he was, a vicious body puncher and a knockout puncher. When he was with Pedro Diaz, you could tell that they worked more on his boxing, which is good too. I mean, he's very versatile. He can do a lot of things in the ring, but he does. Martinez has a lot of physical advantages over him. The size, the height, the reach, speed. I think that those are big advantages. But Miguel Cotto, like I said, timing offsets speed, and that's something that he can do well. We know he's got a good left hook to the body. I think that that's something that he should do. Definitely is go to the body to Martinez, and just take training camp serious this time. I don't want to say that he doesn't take training camp serious, but he always seems to be fatigued at the end of fights, Miguel Cotto, to me. I don't know if it was because a lot of the times he was moving around the ring, doing a lot of dancing on the toes. I think that when he fought Floyd Mayweather, that was something that he did a little bit too much of, and I think that it was a lot of wasted movement. I think he burned a lot of energy doing that. But I don't see him really doing much of that with Freddie Roach. I think, like I said, they want to keep him, keep his feet on the ground so he can generate a lot of power. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully he comes in good shape and he doesn't fatigue at the end of fights like he normally does. And one thing about Miguel Cotto was the last time he was in the ring with good volume punching southpaws. He's been on the losing end, like when he fought Manny Pacquiao, obviously, Austin Trout, and now he's going to get in the ring with a much bigger Martinez. Well, not much bigger, but he is a bigger puncher than Trout, that's for sure. But Trout also had the height and reach advantage on him, and we saw it was very hard for Miguel Cotto to get on the inside and land anything significant on Trout. So, with the things that I'm saying about Miguel Cotto, I think it's going to be a very difficult fight for him. In my opinion, I'm going to take Sergio Martinez. I think he's going to stop him. I really do. If Martinez is 100%, I expect him to stop Miguel Cotto. I'd say anywhere from round 8 to round 10, somewhere around there. I just think that at the end of the fight, he's going to look busted up. I think he's going to have his face rearranged. He's going to be all bloody. Miguel Cotto, he's a guy who marks up very, very easily. And he's in there with a guy who's a volume puncher, has a lot of power, has speed, and does throw a lot of angles at you. And I think it's a very difficult fight for Miguel Cotto. So I'm going to take Sergio Maravilla Martinez to win the fight by stoppage. But what I want to say before I end this video is that I do respect Miguel Cotto a lot for taking this fight. I know that there are some people out there that said that he was ducking Canelo and he was offered more money to fight Canelo. But I think that this fight, if he happens to win and pulls it off and proves me wrong, I think that this does much more for his legacy than if he was to beat a Canelo Alvarez, because they could always use the excuse with Alvarez that, well, he's just too young. He's still really young. He's still up and coming. With Martinez, we know he's a seasoned veteran, and he's the legit man in the division, and he's moving up to middleweight, trying to be the first Puerto Rican middleweight world champion, trying to make history in his country. So, I really respect that from Miguel Cotto. He's fought a lot of good guys out there. He's fought the best two of his generation, and Pacquiao and Mayweather, the guys who are considered the best two. He fought guys like Austin Trout when no one was in a big hurry to get in the ring with Austin Trout. You just gotta give a guy like that credit, man. He wants to fight the best, man, and that's something that I like. And like I always say, I want to see the best fighting the best, man, and that's Miguel Cotto. He definitely wants to fight the best all the time, and I really respect that. So, that's my prediction, guys. Go ahead and let me know what you guys think about it. Drop me comments. Do whatever you got to do. This is G Funk here, and I'm out.